Hello you lot, hope you're all well. Another beautiful day today, spotless sky, there's no clouds, no planes, nothing, a few birds, and I always say that, but a beautiful day. It's got warmer actually. I was going to sit in the sun, try to get a bit more colour, but it was a bit windy earlier on. It's dropped now, but anyway, hope you're all doing well. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and we were talking about the things that's going on at the moment, going on in life, and one of the things that came up was about fear. And I said to him that a lot of people these days have to be a bit careful, because you can bring on, not necessarily bring on, but give you, you will have more chance in catching coronavirus if you are fearful all the time. And people might say, oh, you know, what does that mean? But I've done some study into the way the brain works. I did it years ago when I started writing a book about the mind and the body and health and all this kind of stuff, learning lots about it. And I've gone through a book, this one, that when I was going through panic attacks and fear, that's one of the reasons I got into it, because I wanted to know what was happening, and it was quite a hard experience to go through. And so yeah, Susan Jeffers, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. It's worth a read if you are one of these people that goes through anxiety, and it's quite uplifting. So I was talking to my friend about it, and he said, what do you mean? And then I said, well, the way the brain works, when you're feeling fearful, then you are instructing a part of your brain to release certain hormones into your system to deal with that situation. And now the well-known understanding is that the tiger syndrome, like the saber-toothed tiger, fight or flight. So when something of danger comes to you, then you either fight it or you run from it, fight or flight. And what happens is it's your brain, when you're feeling fear or stress, the blood vessels squeeze and squeeze blood into the back of the brain where the amygdala is, and the amygdala sends signals to your body to produce cortisol, histamine and adrenaline and all these sorts of things, you know, because you need at that time to be strong or fast. You know, a lot of bodybuilders, weight trainers and stuff, they take like adrenaline and other things to be able to increase their hormonal performance, if you like, because it gives them strength, speed, stamina and all that. And you need that when you're trying to get away from danger. So the saber-toothed tiger story is that basically your body shuts down everything that it doesn't need, like for a man, sperm reproduction. It shuts down the immune system because it doesn't need to worry about all that anymore. All it does is just wants to kind of give a turbo kick to your muscles, to your heart and everything else, and get out of it. So when you're feeling anxious and in fear, what happens is a similar thing to that. Your brain is always it's never really settled. You know, the more time you spend in fear, anxiety, your body, yes, where you get this nervous feeling and everything, your body's producing these chemicals that you don't really want it to be producing, especially not for long periods of time. Really, after the saber-toothed tiger has gone, found something else to devour, and you've legged it up a tree somewhere, then you can get back to normal, when your body, your chemical and hormonal parts of and biology of your body will resettle again and go back to what it needs to do, and it needs to, you know, perform functions. And obviously one of the biggest ones is your immune system, because there's plenty out there to be able to, you know, attack you, if you like, or that you're susceptible to. So it's important. So that's what fear is, and I've told you kind of how it works. But also when you're in the opposite of fear, when you're in love, or when you're feeling, I mean, you get the same through, you know, smoking dope, or, you know, taking certain drugs or alcohol or whatever gives you a dopamine rush, which obviously makes you feel good. And you know, and this is serotonin and dopamine, opiates. The other ones I said are cortisol and histamine and adrenaline, all these sorts of things that are used as the opposite function. So it's okay to be in one, but you need to get back to normal again afterwards, and get your body back to health. But unfortunately, we live in a world that seems to be throwing negativity at its left, right and centre. The stuff we watch on TV is negative. The news all the time, negative, 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 and it's all the time it's building up in us, you know, and we're constantly churning these negative and anxious, you know, vibes, if you like, which are allowing the system to dribble these hormones into our system almost all the time, and that's no good for us. That lowers your immune system. Now, if you're wandering around with a lower immune system because of this, now this isn't me just saying, this is stuff I've learned off of other people, and I've you know, I've been through a lot of books and studies online and everything. It's easily Googleable or YouTubeable. Just look, you know, look it up for yourselves. But when you're walking around, especially in an environment like this where there's supposed to be a virus going on, and you're in a state of anxiety or panic or fear, you've reduced your immune support by your thoughts, because your brain doesn't know what's real and what's not. Your brain accepts whatever it is. That's why you can think of something and make yourself anxious. You can think of a sad story and cry, you know. It's not real, but, you know, or you might remember something that makes you upset. When people go through an anniversary of someone that died years ago, when they have a really bad day and they're all upset and everything else, that person may have died years ago, but they bring it into the current time, relive some of those thoughts and feelings, and it makes it real, and your body responds to that. So when you think about the fact that since like 2001, when the 9/11 thing went on, it affected the world in a massive way, and now we sort of feel like we're under threat from terrorists all the time. So there's that fear going on, as well as your normal, you know, current everyday stuff that you go through, like your job or money or, you know, a partner or a family or health or whatever it is. There, everyone seems to worry about everything. I've heard that that during this pandemic that quite a lot of people are turning to God and religion. I mean, and that's fine. I mean, I come from a religious background, so, you know, I understand kind of what it's all about and why, but I can't blame them really in some respects. I think with so many people dying, it makes people realise just how mortal they are, you know, and it could be taken from you at any time, and you don't know. It's an invisible killer, but so they say. Regardless of where it came from or whatever, let's take the situation at hand. It's here. We're going through what we're going through. So how do we best deal with it? Well, one, try not to worry about it. You know, I know it's easy to say, and you may know people, I know several people that have had it, and you know, they've had a bad time. But you know, they're okay now. They're back to normal again now. Most people apparently will be okay about this. But when you are seeing or hearing about so many deaths, and it makes you feel anxious, and you think, oh, what next? Who next? You know, and we just want to slam our foot on the brakes and try to protect everyone and everything and not know what to do. You're bringing yourself down into this sea, like I said, like a sea of negativity or anxiety or stress. Now, I'm not saying don't take precautions. What I'm trying to say is try not to put too much attention into the fear of all this stuff. Accept what's going on. Obviously be mindful about what it is that you're doing. Stay at home, spend more time at home, let this thing disappear. If you are going to go down to the shops or whatever, obey the rules of the shops. It's there for our protection. There's no need to fight it, and when you fight it, other people get upset as well. Then you've got more stress because there's upset there. I've seen silly things on the internet and on Facebook, and it's ridiculous. But, you know, general rule of thumb, you know, let's use our common sense. Let's keep ourselves safe. But at the same time, you know, try to take the moment that we have here. Now, I wanted to go quickly, just briefly, into something that I was also talking to my daughter about. And I said about things that have happened to us in the past. And a lot of people that we focus on things that happened in the past, and we never really leave them there. We sort of carry them with us, and you get a lot of people that are always, oh yeah, but what about that time you did this, and what about this time, and what about that, and what about that? And what you're doing is you're making your now the same as what it was back then. Like I said, the brain doesn't know what's real and what's not. So as far as you're concerned, all that rubbish that you've gone through back then has been carried straight into this present And like Eckhart Tolle says, which I've studied him quite a bit in the past, the power of now. Your moment now is your now. So what are you going to do with it? Are you going to spend it doing something negative? Are you going to be upset about something that's already passed? Or are you going to do a new now for a new future? And you can look back at that point, and take that with you, and take something with you, so long as it's that it benefits you. So where am I going with all this? Well, I just think that the situation we're going through, I think it's nice to have some encouraging words. I'm no guru, I'm no authority on any of this stuff, but I know what I know, and I know enough to be able to maybe help other people to try to see some common sense out of it, and maybe a little bit of physics or biology to be able to understand what's happening. And it might make you think twice before you start to keep your anxiety. Your anxiety is never going to do you any good. If something's going to happen, it's going to happen whether you're worried about it or not. You worrying about it just keeps that with it. You've doubled up on it. I was a born worrier. I worried for most of my life, and that's why I did all this stuff. I needed to get away from it all. I needed to stop worrying about everything and concentrate on making my life a better place to be, if you like. So I'm going to give you my experiences, if you like, to help you to understand what I stand, because for me it's worked for me. So like I said, I'm no authority, I'm no guru, but if I can help someone, then to be able to lessen their anxiety or panic attacks or whatever it is they're going through, then so be it. So try to do things what you love to do if you can. We have time. That's one thing we do have at the moment, is time, and we can spend it how we like. But if we've got time, we can reevaluate ourselves. We can make plans for the future, plans to do things that we wouldn't normally do. We're too distracted to do things or whatever. We get to spend time with the family or with the kids, or play games and stuff. Maybe turn the TV off for a little while, or maybe watch something together as a family, having dinners together as a family. Most times people are always coming and going, and so the family eats separately sometimes, which isn't always a bad thing, but I think it's nice to be able to gel as a family if you are in one, and use that opportunity to help each other, and talk to each other, learn more about each other. We spend a lot of time apart normally, so now's a good time to cash in on that, really. If you can, or if you feel like meditating, and I don't mean sitting there going I mean just to sit, think about life and where you want it to go. Imagine stuff, imagine what you want in life, imagine what you want to experience, and imagine it to be where actually you're having it, and you'll be on the way to starting something that's going to produce those things happening. I will go back to writing my book at some point. I did a lot of research and I've written a lot of stuff down. I spent more time recently doing my music, so I kind of put it on the back burner, and writing this fictional comedy. So I've kind of given myself a bit too many things to chew at the same time, but I'll get them done eventually. So have fun, be grateful, try to take this time to feel about what you're grateful for, and you'll find that there's a lot to be grateful for. Just being here, nice day, that's two things. You had your food this morning in whatever, or cups of tea, coffee, or whatever it was you're doing. You may have a friend to talk to. You've got a mobile phone, you can phone friends and stuff. My phone's ringing a lot these days. People that have time now to phone and have a little chat and see how we are, which is really nice. So carry on doing that, lift each other up. We're all here, we're all in the same boat. There's no one that's getting really a better deal than anyone else, really. Stay safe, and stop stressing, chill out, do something good, and enjoy yourself. Peace.